Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. We have made our journal cover, and now it is time to add in our pages and put our pockets on the inside, all of that good stuff. So I've got the pages from the free digital kit that Betty Renfro has given to the group and our subscribers, and I will get that front page so you can see that. Here we go. The Merry Christmas and Happy New Year collection, and that can be found on our blog. I have it in the last video that I posted. I put that in the description box below. And I have more or less just kind of put the pages back to back in here. So I've got that first page there, and then I've got a notebook paper that's been tea stained, and then I have this page, an ink stained paper. I have this page, and then this one, and you've got the white side there, another piece of notebook paper that's been tea stained, a page from the kit that's been folded the opposite way, and then this one is folded the opposite way, ink stained paper, more white paper, but then we have that from the kit, this page from the kit, and then more white space, but then we have that notebook paper in between there. And if I can get my fingers to work, there's another kit page, ink dyed page, tea stained page, and then there's the middle of our signature. And I'm just, because this page or this cover is so grungy and inked on the inside, I am doing something I've never done, and I'm leaving the outside little white edges here on all of these, and I'm going to leave plenty of white space for writing. So this will be a writing journal, and specifically for that purpose of writing in it. And then I know some are going to say, now Melina, you've made the cover entirely too big for what papers you're putting in. Nah. Okay, so I have room at the top and the bottom. And then when you close it up, yes, there's a lot of space. There's probably, what is that? About 3/4 of an inch between the pages themselves and the cover. And what I'm planning on doing is I want this to be simple on the inside as far as it is for writing, but I also want to add things to the edges. So this book page that I've torn out, I thought this was cute little wording here, and so I thought I would just add that to this white page here. And then, you know, that takes away from a lot of journaling on that page, but we don't have to add things to every white page. But I just thought at the very beginning that was a cute little thing to add in there. And on each page, or at least every other page, I would like to add either some lace trim or a border, a snippet border where I've just cut a piece of cardstock the length of the page and put just some collage scraps on it and put it on the edge. And then we can even make some little fabric folds as tabs on some of the pages. So I really want to decorate up the edges of these pages since it has a larger cover. So that's what I'm planning on doing to dress up these pages. Now, I'm not going to go along and ink every edge of every page. I'm just not going to do it. It doesn't have to be done. It's just as beautiful without all of that done to it, in my opinion. So I'm just not going to do that. I am, however, going to ink the edges of my book page before I put them down on the white pages. So whatever pages I decide to put book page on, I will ink the edges of those just because I love the look of inked book pages. So I'll add that there, and see, that's just gorgeous. I love that. I love that look. And I'm going to add that in with my ATG, because glue on book page does not work well with me. I have tried every glue there is, liquid glue that is, and it just does not work right. You can see through it. It leaves staining through it, so I just don't like it. So I'm going to use my ATG on my book page and just put that pretty much in the middle there. Okay, and then on this page, I want to go ahead and add on this lace, and it's going to be hanging off of the top and the bottom. I like that look, so that's how I'm going to add that on. And let's go ahead and get my Fabrifix, and I'll add that on. And then I want to go ahead and put my signature in. So I'm just going to go up the side of that page, first page in our signature, and then lay out that lace how I want it. Need a little bit more hanging off on the bottom, and then just kind of try to get it straight. I'm okay if it's not perfectly, but I want to get all the wrinkles out of it so it will lay flat, and if someone is writing in it, it will be easy to write on. Alright, I think I need to go out a little bit that way. Need to turn the volume down on my computer over here, since that notification was very loud. Okay, so there is a piece of lace added on there, and what I was thinking was to get one of her butterfly pieces. I like that one. Let's just go ahead and cut that one out. And this is from her, I think it's called Butterfly Stamps, I believe. Not totally positive on that, but you can find it. Go to her Etsy, Betty's Custom Design on Etsy, and just type in butterfly in the search bar, and she has all kinds of beautiful butterfly stuff. It's just gorgeous. Alright, there is that stamped image cut out, and then I'm going to ink around the edges. I'm using walnut stain, and I'm thinking that I want something like that there on my front page, and then some type of little word label. Let's look here. I like these little tickets. These are also from Betty. Let's go. I want the memory one. Let's get that one cut out. Okay, just that simple. I like that. So I'll ink the edges of that piece, and then let's glue this down here. And then this little memory piece there. Go up a little bit. Okay. So see, just that simple is going to be how I'm going to be decorating this book. So there's our first page, and then inside of that first page, and then we get to that beautiful tea-stained notebook paper there. I really love how that lace comes off the edge like that. So what we're going to do next, before we do any more decorating, we're going to go through, make sure that all of our pages look correct and how we want them lined up, and make sure that nothing is sticking up or below too far. And then we're going to put in, just go ahead and sew in our signature. Oh, and another thing that I did with this, since y'all have seen this, is I did some stitching around the edges, and I did straight stitch and then zigzag and straight and zigzag, and I did that with some brown thread. Okay, this is how I would like it, so I need to find my huge paper clips, and I'll make a bunch of noise here for a second because I gotta get them all out and things are hooked to them. Okay, and I'm going to clip one side, clip another side, and make sure not to mess up what I've already done to that. And then we're going to close it up, make sure nothing is buckling through there before we start to put it in. Then we make sure that this is the front of our journal, and it is. Okay. Then we're going to fold it out, make sure everything is still lined up like it should be. And then line it up. Line it up on the, and then we're going to line it up on the cover how we want it. I think I need to take this one off for a minute and get it. There we go. Much better. I have been watching Call the Midwife. It's a series. If you've never watched it, it's on Netflix. And I'm absolutely hooked. I have way too much to do. I can't believe I got myself hooked on that. But someone mentioned it to me that it was a good, mostly clean series to watch, because when it comes to television, I like it to be very vanilla. Of course, now when you say Call the Midwife, that's childbirth. So I'm not that much of a prude. I know that there's going to be childbirth and a little bit of nakedness that comes along with childbirth, but that is a natural thing, and I've been through it. So I'm not squeamish when it comes to that. It is a beautiful natural thing. But you know, whoever got me hooked on that, you just don't realize how much I need to get done during the day, and there's not enough hours in the day already. But then when I am hooked on a new television series, and I'm only on season 4, and I think there's, what, 9 seasons to that? Oh, gracious. Now, if you haven't watched it, don't listen what I'm about to say, but, because this is a spoiler, so if you've not watched any of it. But for Jenny, Nurse Lee, to have left as quickly as she did, that got me so upset. I was like, what? Wait a minute. She's her older self is the narrator of the show. What in the world is going on? Why is she leaving the show? I didn't understand that one at all. Especially since her older self is the narrator, but I digress. It's still a wonderful show, even without that character prominent in every episode. Okay, so as I've been yakking to you about my soaps, as my grandmother used to call them, I've been lining up my signature to make sure of where it needs to be and how far up, down, whatever it needs to be. And I think I am good. So I'm going to get my piece of foam. I'm going to get my awl and my needle and my wax thread. And I'm going to 1, 2, 3, and thread my needle. Anybody that has already seen and knows how to sew in a signature, by all means, fast forward. If you don't need to watch this or don't want to, I never, ever, ever want you to watch any part of my video that you already know all about. Don't have to watch that. I totally understand. For anyone that does not know how to sew in a signature or just wants to stick around with me just to watch me do it, hi. Okay, let's see. So I'm just going to, if you want to be very, very precise, of course, get your ruler out and measure and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to do a rough, this looks like the middle kind of measurement. And remember, we're going through, what, 16 pieces of premium paper and our cover. So there is how far I'm going through with my awl. That just tells how big of a hole you're going to have. Alright, and then I'm going to go up just a tad more. So let's see, what is that? About 3/4 of an inch from the top. And you keep it folded up so that you go through the middles of everything. I need to go through just a little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. And then pull the awl back out. And then go to the bottom. About 3/4. And through all your papers and through your cover again. Okay. Get good. And then gonna get your needle with your wax thread. Go through your middle hole, inside to outside. And then I leave a tail about as long as my page, so like so. And then up through, and see, when you hold it like this, you go through there. All the holes are lined up and your needle comes right through. See it? Very, very easy when you keep your book folded up. Okay. And then all the way down to our bottom hole and through. And then you're going to pull tight, and then pull in and pull out to get all of them tight. And then you're going back through. When I come up, I'm going to make sure not to split that thread at all. And then we're going to come on the opposite side. Okay, so I've got a string on this side of that middle string, and then I have the end on the other side of this middle string. I'm going to take my needle off so I don't fling it anywhere. And then I'm going to go to the outside. See, this is not tight enough, so I'm going to pull that tighter. And then close it up and then make sure, okay, yep, that's better. I think I need to pull it just a tad more. That's better, but it's still not tight. Much better. Much, much better. Okay. So then I'm going to tie a double knot or square knot. Okay. Then I'm going to tie a bow. And I like leaving mine as a bow in the middle. Then I'm going to cut this off about there and take off all of my jumbo clips. So there is our signature sewn in to the middle of our book. Beautiful. It did well. Okay, so now we are going to decorate the rest of our pages, the edges, and let's see, next I want to do a little snippet border. So I've got a piece of cardstock that I took out of a paper pad, and if you're going to make one of these borders and it's going to stick out from the page, you want to make sure that you like both sides. I am going to make this 2 inches wide. Okay. And then this is going to go up against this notebook paper, but stick off of the edge like so. So it's going to give it a little extension out to here, and then when you close it up, you're going to have that showing on the edge too. So very cute. I love that. And what I'm going to do on the top of it is just get scraps and make a snippet border. Cannot remember who it was on YouTube that I watched make one of these for the very first time ever. When I saw it, I was like, genius. That's just genius. Here's some pieces of fabric that I'm going to hold out and add to the edge of some of them. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gracious, why have I not ever thought of that? So you just kind of willy-nilly put some pieces on your cardstock or book page or whatever you're using. Just kind of put some pieces on, tear a few little pieces, then put like a little focal point in the middle of it. It just is the cutest thing, and it's from scraps, so y'all know I like that. So just a little scrap border, and let's see how big this piece is. I like that. Maybe do this as my focal point, maybe. I'm going to do just like a little wonky edge through there and have that little, I like that. Let's do like so. Give this one a wonky edge too. And then you've got that little torn edge. Yeah, that'll be cute. And then ink it up. Very cute, very cute. And let's add this. Let's get a torn edge on this side of this one. And then ink all of those pieces. And so then just adding on your little snippet pieces. However you would like to add them on. It doesn't have to be in any particular order. And I decided my little focal point needs to be roughed up a little bit. So I'm just kind of wadding it up and then unwadding it and wadding it back up again. Okay. Just to kind of give it a worn look, and I'm going to cover up most every bit of that, but that is okay. Because that's where I want it to go, and I want it to kind of hang off this way a little, so I won't ink that edge there. But since I've wadded it up quite a bit, it's okay if I get a couple of wrinkles or something in it too. I'd give it just a little bit more of a distressed look. Okay, and then I will add this on to this page, and then see when you close up the signature, you'll be able to see some of that peeking out from behind that one. I like that. That looks cute. Alright, and I'm going to add it on with my ATG. And I'm just going to put a couple, maybe a few little strips, just so that I know how far over I want to go. And it's probably going to be easier. I'll be able to see it better this way. I'm just going to barely push it down on the middle and turn it over and make sure that's where I want it. Where if I want to bring it in some, and I do. Let's bring it in just a touch like so. Yes, I like that. Okay, so then you've got that writing space there. You've got your little border there, and then you've got daisies on this other side for a focal point. I'm just going to ink around the back side of that page extension or border. Okay, so there we've got that. It's still not hanging over the cover, so you're good there. Then on some of the other pages, I think I will put some seam binding down the edge and then do a little fabric pull of some kind with maybe a die cut or something on that too. So I want to come up, I don't want to cover up too much of that from the page since it's so cute. I've already told Betty this, but she's done a really good job with this kit. I love it. Alright, I'm going to take my seam binding wrapper off so that I can get to this a little better. Okay, and find my end. Here we go. Now this is some of that already crinkled up seam binding. So when you put it on, you're going to have some awesome little wrinkles and stuff in it. I love that. So I'm just going to go along the edge of my page and get it everywhere. And then I'm going to cut a piece, and I might even gather this in a few places. So I'm going to cut it a little long. And I'm going to start at the bottom, hang it off the end, or the edge, the bottom edge, some, before I start laying it out. And then gather it where I want to. And I will pull it down, see how much I have left up top, and then I can pull it down and gather it a little bit more in places. Okay, I really like that. And then I will go in behind the gathered up places and put more Fabrifix down so that it can have something to adhere to. Now after this dries, I might cut that top piece off. I might not, who knows. And then for my little pull or page tab, whatever you want to call it, I think I'm going to go about here and glue that on, and then see when you close this up, you're going to be able to see that. I think I'll need to come pretty far out to get that seen, since that border on the front of it is out there pretty good. I like that. Cute. And we can put a die cut or something, or a digital piece from this collection there. Okay, put a line of Fabrifix and place it where I want it. Okay, and then flip it over, and I'm just going to place some Fabrifix at the edge of this page. And then adhere that down, and then I will put probably put the book page up on top of that, and that'll seal it down even better. And there's your little tab out there. And let's see, we've got, I know what we could do. You've got a one that says Inspire on here, I'm sure, maybe. Oh, look at that, Inspire. I like that, just that simple. Adding a little tab, and it's decorative, and it will help to keep that sturdy there. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac just because we're going up against fabric. Very cute, and I do believe I will cut off the top edge of that seam binding there. Okay, so we've got that Inspire there with the little tab. And then let's get another book page. Let's see if we can find one that might have a poem or something on one side. Nope, no poem. So I'm going to just tear the edges of the page and get most of this white space taken off, but try to keep all the words. Okay, I like that. I like how that looks. So let's ink the edges of this and get it adhered down. Let's see. Yep. Alright, I'm going to put just a little bit of Fabri-Tac on this very edge of that piece of fabric that we're using as the tab. And then I'm going to use my ATG on the back side of the book page, and all of this that's coming off, that ink that's coming off the edge there, I'm good with that. It gives that page over here a little bit more character. Let's add some right there. Oh yeah, I like that. Kind of looks like little mountains that we've made on that page and can still be written on top of easily. Alright, and down as center as you would like. You don't have to center that up. Okay, so there are our first few pages. So that one nice and clean, pretty, and then book page, and then a little snippet border there. And then plenty of room for writing here. Another little inspirational page there. And using your little tab, and when you close your journal, so you can see that pretty little fabric tab. And I had just inked that fabric for another project, and I had a few pages or pieces of it left over from that project. Then I've got to go through where I dripped that Fabri-Tac or the Fabri-Fix earlier and get my pages apart. So that's what I'm going to do through most all of this journal as far as decorating the pages. Is do that, and I'm going to give it lots of character, put lots of edging on, but I'm not going to do hardly anything to the actual page except for these white pages, the back sides of the digitals, where I'm just adding book page. Okay, so all of these pages I'm not going to add much of anything. I might ink a little bit on these ink dyed pages, but mostly I'm just putting borders on every page through this. Now for my inside covers, I'm wanting to make some pockets. I'm not going to do anything else to the outside of my cover. I'm going to make pockets to go on these back and front inside covers, and I have these Tim Holtz journaling cards. We had these in the shop for a while. They didn't sell too well, and I think it's just because people didn't know what they actually were. So there's these really tall ones with space on the backs for journaling, and then there's little ones, and then ones that's a little bit bigger, and then like, what is that, 3 by 4 approximately, yeah. And they all have room on the backs for you to journal on. So they're ready-made journaling cards, and I think it was a pack of 100 or something like that. But if I make pockets to go on this journal, see, I can put those, I can have little booklets or folios or whatever I want to put down in those pockets too, but I think that goes along really well with that. And let's pick out 2 for this front. I like that. I like those roses. Let's see if there's one with some blue in it to go along with that. That's going to be down in the pocket. Let's see if we've got anything that's got blue on the top of it. That one's pretty. Ooh, I like that one. Ooh, there's one with a lot of blue on it though. Yeah, that one matches that one too much. Look at that one. That brings out that blue that's in that. I like that. Okay, and then it brings out some of the lighter colors in that too. And oh, look at that one with the bees on it. That is so cute. I think maybe I'm going to change this one out. That green brings out that green, and then this lighter blue brings out the lighter in that too. So, okay, got my cards picked. So now I just have to make my pockets. I think I will make my pockets out of this tea stained cardstock I was gifted. I really like how that looks. And I want to be able to put one of these tags from the collection on top of the pocket. So I need to make the pocket at least, how tall here? Yeah, at least 4 inches tall. So let's go for, let's see, where would 4.5 put me? Right about there. Yep, that's good. Okay, so each of my pockets needs to be 4.5, and then I'm just going to make it as long as this craft piece is. So that is 4.5 by 6. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I want gussets on the edges of these pockets, so not just a flat pocket. I want it to be able to hold quite a bit. Since this is a writing journal and most of the pages are going to be blank, we can splurge and put a little bit more volume on our pockets. So if it needs to be 6 wide, I'm going to cut it 6.5 and give myself 1/4 inch gusset, and then 4.5 tall. So I need to cut it 4 3/4 for a 1/4 inch gusset. So 4.5, 4 3/4, and then another 4 3/4. And I've got that little strip left, and then I need 6.5. And 6.5. then 1/4 inch, and 1/4 inch, and then the bottom gets another 1/4 inch. And this is cardstock, so that's why I'm having to go over it quite a few times. I actually like a bone folder more than I like a stylus when I'm doing that. Gives just a sharper little crease. Okay, so 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch, and then that 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to cut off my little corners here. And then size it up, make sure that it's going to fit correctly. Yep, looks good to me. I'm going to use some 1/8 inch score tape, and then I'm going to put some liquid glue on top of that too. For the top, I'm going to use this tab punch and just do a little rectangular notch. Like that. And ink my edges. Like that, and then a little line of liquid glue that I will try my best not to get on the inside of the pocket, which I am notorious for. That's why I like 1/8 inch score tape when I'm doing this. Okay, and then line that up, and that. With that liquid glue on top of the score tape, you get a little bit of forgiveness and leeway to move it around how you need to before it is down permanently. Okay, like that, and then we will add in our little cards and have plenty of room for more pieces in there too. I like that, so pretty. Okay, so I want to add, I think this butterfly one. And this is also from that free kit that Miss Betty provided for us. Cut out my little tag here, and I printed mine on that premium copy paper that you get at Walmart, or I mean it's really not even just Walmart brand, but it's the premium copy paper, so not regular copy paper, it's the step up, so it's either 28 pound or 32 pound, whichever one you prefer. I think this is 28. Okay, and then add a tag like so, and maybe even punch out the top and add some string to it. I might want to add a little bit of book page across. Yep, let's do that. Since this is so thin, I think I will just cover that over with some seam binding and staple it on with my Tim Holtz tiny attacher. If I start to try and put seam binding through that hole, I'm going to tear something, so let's just attach it like that. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, ink my book page. Okay, and then I'm going to glue that down. That'll be our front pocket, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the back pocket with this material, and maybe, since I've got a bird on the back there, I won't use the bird. I think maybe that one on this pocket. And then I'm going to go through and finish all of my edging on my other pages, and then we'll have a final flip through. So I have worked on this journal most of the day, on and off, all day, and I have everything edged except this very last page, and I thought I would show you how I finish it off, and then I will give you a complete flip through. I think this is probably one of my favorite journals to at least decorate, because I love a good writing journal because you need a lot of room to write, so you don't have as much decorating to do, so that's always a grand thing for me. I know, I am an odd duck. I don't care for the decorating that much. I will assemble things all day long for you. I will make pockets for things all day long for you, but when it comes to decorating something, oh man, I'll just leave that to somebody else. But I do like how this has come together, and the fact that there is lots of writing space. So this journal will be for sale, and whoever gets it will have plenty of room to write in this, or they can cover some of the stuff up with ephemera and pockets and all kinds of stuff on the pages if they want to. But this will be for sale on the website. It will probably be on Thursday of this week. So I just got a piece of that tea-stained cardstock and ripped it and then inked it with my walnut stain, and it gave that great burnt look to it that I love. And then as I've been decorating the pages, I'll lay them down, and then you can see the different layers of things down through there as I have decorated. So like this one, I won't put it over so that you can actually see that, so it just gives it that layered effect. And there's that one, and then I want to put this little piece of book page there, layer it on top of that. So I'm going to ink that up. I can't wait for y'all to see this. All of the pages and pockets decorated and everything ready. Finish inking the edges of this torn book page, and then I'm going to put a line of double-sided tape through there, and then put this on. Of course, it doesn't take much to put down book page, but if you see there's some spots where you want to put a little extra course, you can just use a little dot of liquid glue if you want to. And I am inky all over. It is just craziness. My desk, you should see all of my desk. It's craziness. But I'll get it all cleaned up eventually. Try to get all these little... I need a new dauber. This one's falling apart. That's why all of those little pieces and parts are everywhere. Little fuzzies. And get my lid back on. My art glitter glue. And my Fabrifix. Okay, so yeah, I've got a lot of ink spots on that page, but you'll still be able to write on it plenty. I'm going to close up my walnut stain ink, and let's go over everything. I'll give you a flip through of this journal. Let me give me a sip of tea here. Alright, so our cover that we made using book page, and then we covered it, collaged it, and made a masterboard cover. I apologize for all of this on my mat. Tried to clean it all off, and now you're getting a little shimmer from it. Oh, I am so inky. That's just crazy. Look at that. I need to start wearing gloves, I guess. But I just go and get a little bit of bleach and rub it all over my fingers under the tap, and it all comes off, so we're good. Okay, so anyway, the cover, and then when you open it up, you have that pocket that I made on screen with you earlier, and the two little pieces of ephemera, and it's got plenty of room for lots more things too in that. That's the joy of putting a gusset around the edges and using cardstock as your pocket, so it's really sturdy, holds up really well. So our first page, nice clean first page, and then you open it up and you have that ripped or torn book page, and then that ephemera kind of scrap cluster border that we put on that notebook tea stain paper. I got that daisy paper from the back side of it showing. And then our first little fabric tab with some seam binding down the side and a ticket from the Betty Renfro Digital. Some more book page, and then lots of writing room. And then this cardstock came out of this Craft Consortium collections called Patina. It has got some of the prettiest papers in it, so I cut a 2-inch piece of that and made a torn page border there. And then more book page. That beautiful digital that Miss Betty did for us. And then this page, I just put some more torn book page there. Very simple. Another piece of book page, and then look at that pretty lace that imprinted on that tea-stained notebook paper when I did that. And one of Miss Betty's digitals with another piece from that same collection. And if you'll look here, see all the different layers, beautiful little layers through here on the edges. I love putting edges on pages in a journal. Just love how that looks, that layered look. Another book page, and then beautiful digitals, and I put just another piece of that cardstock, tea stain cardstock, but I just put it backwards, so that part of it is on the back side. Another book page, and then this is another piece of that patina paper with a butterfly stamp at the bottom. Very simple decorations, y'all, because this is a writing journal. So even with the book page, if the person that gets it wanted to, they could put, you know, white paper over the top of this and just use this as a mat. Look at that, how horrible. Use that as a mat. And could write on top of that too if they wanted to. Or put a picture there and use this book page as a background mat. That would be cute to put photos in this. Very cute idea. Alright, then next is beautiful digitals. I put some more seam binding down the edge of this page with a couple of Miss Betty's digital cutouts. Book page, notebook tea stain paper with some of that patina paper and a digital. Book page, beautiful digital, and then a double layered page edge there, and then one of the little digital stamps, butterfly stamps there. And then more notebook paper with some more of that patina cardstock. You could dress these pages up so much when you're going through and, you know, writing in it. More book page. Here is the middle of our signatures, so that beautiful digital by Miss Betty, and then a piece of that patina cardstock paper on the side. More book page, and then there's that yellow again where we used it up here with the daisy on the back of it. There it is again with another little ephemera cluster in the middle of it. I love that paper. It turned out so pretty. And then another one of those layered up paper and book page. There's another one. That's the one we just did on camera. Some more of that patina paper, and then a Moments ticket at the top, book page. And there is another little cluster. It's not my favorite one, but that seam binding didn't ruffle up like I wanted it to, and I guess that's why, because you can see the glue through it. But I really like that ticket, so just went with it. And then more book page, beautiful digitals. And on this one, I used just a little bit. I think I've got 2 pages wanting to stick together here. Get that cleaned off. And more of that patina paper, some book page, and then a digital there. And this is light enough, it'd be plenty of room to do some writing on it too. Book page. And then here's your other little fabric tab with a little cluster here and some seam binding on it. And then book page again. Beautiful digitals again. And then on this one I put 2 of those little butterfly tickets and some seam binding on the edge there. And then more book page, another one of the yellow 2-inch borders with a cluster and with some book page on it. See those pretty daisies there. And then book page, and I did a ticket here. And the reason I did that is because I loved how it looked up against this border that I put on the next page. So if you open that up, then here's that page. So I just thought that that went really well together. So that's why I added that ticket onto that book page. So there is that, and then book page again, some more of that patina paper, book page again. Now if you don't like, you know, how that rubs off, I don't know, you would probably just wouldn't want to ink your book pages probably, and that would be a shame because I love how that looks. Love it. I think I'm going to have to put some clear coat, some clear gesso on my journal cover because that white is wanting to come off. I'm going to do this here. Alright, and then more book page, beautiful digital, another little simple border with that patina paper and book page, and then we come to the end of our signature, and I used the lace like I did on the front of the signature, and then put a little cluster there on that border, and then you've got your tag from the free collection, digital collection, some book page, and then those pretty journal cards from Tim Holtz. And that is your journal. Now it is thin now because we didn't put pockets on the pages, so it is a writing journal, and it is not super duper thick, but once you get into it and start filling it up and writing in it and putting pockets or pictures or whatever into it, memorabilia, if I can even say that word, it will thicken up and get a little chunky on you. I would say probably about here, but as of right now, we're pretty thin, but I like that as far as being able to fill it up. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the makings of the Teal butterfly journal out of masterboard cover, and I will be making more in the future. I love making these journals. I love making writing journals because, like I said, not too much decorating on the inside because you want to have room for writing. Y'all have a blessed day. I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.